Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It's the Parlay. It's week 17. Authentic and The Beard, the best television show not on television. We are here to guide you through each and every single game on the slate today. And ladies and gentlemen, it is a packed slate. It is fantasy football championship weekend. It is daily fantasy football. It is everything you can imagine, all wrapped up in one. Without further ado, let me bring in the man, the myth, the legend, the one who held us down while I was being held down by the COVID, Mr. Authentic himself.
My guy, back in the building. Was good, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's been an absolute disaster. First and foremost, I do want to say that this thing is no joke. I literally have. I've probably been felt like this maybe twice in my life. Once was detoxing. The other was a serious head injury. So yes, it is no joke, no fun. I do want to send some love and thank yous to everybody who has reached out to me. It does mean the world to me because I will tell you that once some of the symptoms start to go away mentally, it is absolutely insane. It is super tough because you're literally, there's nothing you can do. It's
so where you think you at right now? Let's say you were at a 1 Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Where are you at today?
7, 6.5, maybe.
Not too bad. I'll take a 6.5, 7. It's not the strongest side, but it's strong enough.
Yeah, I mean, so like it's been crazy, and I definitely want to send some love to my fiance and my future mother-in-law because it's been the three of us. All of us got it, and like they literally took care of me because I probably had it the worst out of the three of them.
Yeah.
So like I just I gotta send them some love because if it was not for them, I don't know what I would have done. And thankfully I did not pass it along to anybody in my mom or anybody else. So definitely counting my blessings even though things have been crazy. And then yesterday helped with the college football. Like I kind of felt like a little bit more normal, even though Notre Dame lost and it was a crazy game. But I mean, the Rose Bowl was amazing between Ohio State and Utah. That was an insane game. And then so like just being able to come back here today is definitely helpful because I mean, like, I know there's a lot of people out there that rely on us, you know what I'm saying, as much as we rely on them. So like, I just wanted to be able to come back and provide some entertainment and knowledge for the Authentic and the Beard fam. So definitely big shout out to everybody. We appreciate you guys being here.
We playing for that chip, boy.
Yeah, and Authentic and I are playing. I'm playing for 2 championships today. So I'm in 1 third-place game, which pays out, and I'm in 2 championship games, one of which is the Authentic and the Beard team, which we drafted here live on Authentic and the Beard with you guys. So, we're definitely super excited today. The matchup is crazy. We have one situation which we're going to have to monitor. I think that's
I think we should. James Funk is in the chat right now, and he's dropping a couple questions. So I say we get to him because his second one is definitely right up the lane of what we're dealing with right now. I'll start with the second one here. He said, made it here with Hurts. Am I crazy for thinking of playing Huntley in his place? Thanks.
It's not crazy to think about. Personally, I mean, I love Huntley too, right? We have to play. We're playing Huntley. I'm playing Huntley in 2 of my 3 teams today. The other team I am forced to play Trey Lance because Lamar Jackson was my quarterback that got me to all my championships. But he's out. So, but I think you have to play Hurts against just the way that Washington's playing as of late. No Montez Sweat today either. No William Jackson, I believe, also. It just makes sense. I mean, both of them give you, opportunity on the ground as well as in the air. It's definitely a coin flip. I think Huntley will probably get you a little bit more. Both of them love to throw to the tight end. I would have to go with Hurts. I just think Hurts is a better matchup, and he's the one that got you there. Huntley's got to go into the Rams. So to me, it's Hurts.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm going Hurts on this one too, just because Huntley has shown that flash that he could play. What was that, 2 weeks ago before they scooped up Josh Johnson and whatnot. But I'm a little bit worried about the consistency there. If he can pull that off again. You noticed his whole trade stock, his whole value rose after that game where people were like, even people in the Giants community, like, I wouldn't mind taking a shot on a guy like Huntley, and it's really just because of one really, really good game. Jalen Hurts been doing this pretty much all year. I'd bank on Hurts to have a good game today against a banged up Washington defense, and I think that they're just a better team than Washington is at this point in the season right now. So I'd look for Hurts to have a pretty big game. I'd go with Hurts as well. And he also asked this one right here.
Playing for the championship, I can play 3 of these guys: Aaron Jones, Devin Singletary, Ronald Jones II, Darrell Williams, and Rashad Penny. Okay, for me, Ronald Jones, you have to. I think it just makes the most sense with the New York Jets run defense being so bad, and him being, obviously Keyshawn Vaughn's going to take away some carries, and we'll get into the details of that when we get to that matchup. He did score a touchdown last week, and I did give you guys Keyshawn Vaughn as a possible guy to score a touchdown.
Yeah,
and he definitely
stole that
off.
Touchdown from my man Ronald Jones, man.
Yeah,
I needed that. You know that.
So yeah, I definitely go Ronald Jones, and then I like the matchup with Penny. Once again, he's going against the Houston Texans run defense that is horrendous, and he has shined against bad defenses 2 times within the last 3 weeks. And then my third guy is a toss-up between Aaron Jones and Williams. I like Williams because of his pass-catching ability. Aaron Jones is going to lose some touches to A.J. Dillon.
Yep.
So I think I would go Penny, Jones, and Williams. Ronald Jones and Williams.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I like those picks. Ronald Jones showed up last week, and it's getting to be that playoff time. You know, we got just 2 more weeks left in the regular season. I think it's time for the Packers to really gear things up and get into that mode of the playoffs. So I'd look for Jones to, be in the mix a lot today. So I agree with you. I like the 3 you chose.
All right, so let's go ahead and say some quick shout-outs to the people in the chat, and then we're going to get right down to business because it is a jam-packed schedule today. Shout-out to everybody who's watching us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. We appreciate all the love and all the support. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up while you guys are here. We definitely appreciate it. Coach Taylor is in the building. What's going on, Coach Taylor? Good to see you, sir. Kyle Metcalf says, got to get up early to beat Jameson.
Shout-out Kyle Metcalf. Hey.
Big shout out to Stephen White. Big shout out to all of the Dallas Cowboy fans and supporters of the channel.
We haven't seen you since that, huh?
I know. And I texted Awthentik and I was like, man, you got to let everybody know that I have COVID because I don't want them to think I'm hiding. But big shout out to all the Dallas fans who come here to Awthentik and The Beard. You guys kicked our butt. Well deserved. I have nothing else I can say. No excuses. You guys are a better team, and it showed on the field. So big shout out to the Dallas fans. We appreciate it. Big shout out to the homie Lucas, checking in from Australia. The AATB 2022 will hopefully be better than 2021. If not, Giants going to need to start paying for gray hair. Big shout out to Lucas. I do want Lucas to know that I did receive the package, and we're going to touch base on that when we have some time to really show you the love and gratitude that you deserve.
You deserve a whole special for that care package you just dropped on AATB. 1,000%, bro. We really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, it really brightened up my day. That was the first thing I saw coming out the COVID cave, so I appreciate it, Lucas.
Beard texted me in the morning because I just woke up literally about 25 minutes ago. And he's like, well, I got something, man, that's going to wake you up a little bit more when you hop on the stream. And he was showing me a little bit. So, man, I can't wait to share that with the rest of y'all, man. Big shout out to the homie Lucas, though. Super shout out. I mean, just can't talk about the support you've backed this channel with enough, man. Thank you again.
Yeah, it really means the world to us. I just seeing it really brightened my day, and I needed it. So thank you very much.
The Giants fans are gonna lose their mind when they see that care package.
I lost my mind. I mean, that's something that I would keep as a football fan. That's how historical awesome it is.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's next level. That's next level legendary right there.
Big shout out to the Cardinal Rule. Hopefully you guys are gonna beat Dallas today for me. Hopefully I know there's been some talks. We're gonna try and do some collaborations. This week's gonna be crazy with Washington and Giants and each other. There's mad requests out on the table. I think we're going to try and do as much content as we can this week. We're definitely super excited. So shout out to the Cardinal Rule. Hopefully we can put something together this week for sure. David C. is in the building.
What up?
Appreciate the love. Anthony Bluegrass Picker.
Yes, sir.
Always holding us down. Thank you, sir. Kalen Dragon 56 says he lost his fantasy playoffs, so officially has nothing left this football season. That's why they make DraftKings and FanDuel. There's always some football left for you, my friend. So hopefully we can get you some good lineups today to make you bounce back from that playoff loss. Who else we got in the building? James Funk, who we were talking to. Good to see you, James Funk, holding us down on Facebook. Michelle, always amazing, absolutely wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate you. I am feeling a little bit better. Still not 100%, but, enough to come out the shell and show my ugly face. Big shout out to James Jones. Appreciate you stopping by. Marjorie's in the building. What's going on, Marjorie? Thank you for holding us down. Brian is here as well. This was really a holdout for more money by the beard. Nah, no, never a holdout here, man. Listen, I do this, for pennies on the dollar because I love it. I love y'all. I get to spend time with my best friend, my brother, Awthentik. So there's nothing better than being here with you guys. I appreciate the love and the support. Sonny from Las Vegas, thank you for sharing the video on your YouTube channel too. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you very much. Sir Knox in the building. Great to see you, brother. Always holding us down. Mac, the Giants fans playing for a championship today.
Hey, best
Blazing
of luck, Mac.
Serenade. I did not beat it yet, but we're in the lead.
We're in the lead.
We are in the lead. The Get Back is in the building. Ash Money, good to see you, sir.
Ash?
Appreciate you stopping by. Kyle Key is in the building. Good to see you, sir. Big
Key.
shout out to Nick the Wick for the $4.99 super chat.
Guy.
Says, hope you feel better, Beard. Just got done doing some O-line work. Vid will be on Twitter in a few days. My lock of the week, Eagles -4.5. Big shout out to Nick the Wick. We appreciate it, brother.
NTW in the building, man. Good to see you, bro.
Appreciate you, sir. Who else we got in the building? Sleepwalkers in the building, checking in on Facebook. Thank you, sir.
What up?
Appreciate you. Old man Rob is in the building. It's great to see all of these names in here today. Big shout out to Kevin the PRF, says he is hiding. Hey, man, I feel you, brother. I feel you. E. Suds is in the building. Good to see you, sir. And the man, Entertainer Talking Sports,
Tainer in the building. I caught Tainer's stream last night super late, man. They were on for like 2.5 hours. And I was cleaning the studio like I was telling you about. So when the stream was over, I went back and watched the whole stream. If you didn't see Entertainer stream last night, man, that was one for the record books, I swear, man. The battle between him and Roldy mid-stream was super amazing, man. Tainer made a bunch of great points about the draft, just moving forward, quarterback situation, all that, man. Good to see you in the building, Tainer, man, as always. You know what it is, fam.
Facts. Taco Nacho's in the building. Good to see you.
Taco.
Waterfly's in the building. Appreciate you.
Gang is in the building early.
Hey, Shay checking in, the Maryland Picker, another awesome channel in the reseller community. Appreciate you stopping by, showing us some love. Mark Kolkowski is in the building. Says championship day. I'm playing Mark in a championship.
He's always in a championship, bro. I don't know what Mark does, but Mark is definitely a really good fantasy football player for sure, man. He's in the championship every damn year. He's one of the reasons why I had to quit that Swan League. He was dominating that for a while.
Big shout out to Josh Latore for the $5 super chat. Says Trey Lance or Taysom Hill. It's for the championship. I need the dub.
I'm going Taysom Hill, bro.
It's tough for me.
Like that, I know.
I listen. That's a borderline. I mean, you could take your pick here, but I like Trey Lance matchup wise, and I think that's gonna play a big difference. But that's a really tough call. Really tough call. So. But thank you to everybody who is here. We appreciate all the love, all the support. Without further ado, we got to rock. We got to roll. We got a whole day of football ahead. Let's get right into the matchups. Ladies and gentlemen, the first game on the docket today is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 2-13. They're headed to New England to face the Patriots, who have come back down to earth. They are 9-6. They are an insane 17-point favorite. The over-under in this game is 41.5. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, okay, No James Robinson, but they have a young man by the name of, and I practiced this all of last night. I knew it was gonna be the first thing that I had to say today, and I'm already like shaking in my boots.
Freezing up.
So we're gonna go. Big shout out to Dare Agunbawale. I think I hit it on the nail.
You put the voice on it too, though. I like that.
Well, listen, because I was asking Josie and him how to say it, and when they say it like they're, so but listen, he was supposed to be the guy before James Robinson emerged last year. So, last week he had 17 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown in relief. 2 catches for 15 yards. So he is a guy that they're going to have to rely on because they rely on the run game so heavily at Jacksonville. And it's going to be a tough matchup for sure. New England does allow 121.9 yards per game on the ground. So that is something to kind of keep your eye on. I will tell you this, though. It's going to be tough because there's just a lot going on there for them. I don't really know what else to say. Damian Harris, though, has been on an absolute tear for the New England Patriots. His last 2 games healthy, because, you have to remember that he missed a lot of games in between those 2 games. I think it was like 2 or 3 games maybe, or 2 or 3 weeks. His last 2 healthy games, 28 carries, 214 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Obviously, I like the Patriots to win this game, but I think Jacksonville finds a way to cover that 17 points. I just think 17 points is a bit drastic. And now that I think about it, I'm like, I don't know how Jacksonville scores. Maybe Jacksonville finds a way to contain New England a bit. So I think New England wins the game. I think Jacksonville covers. I think we are going to fall short of that 41.5 points. So I'm going to take the under.
Yeah, I think we'll get to the 41.5 here. On the back of New England, they've been playing some pretty good football. They had that 2-game kind of a slump here where they've gotten down in the first quarter in both of these games. So last 2 games have been outscored in the first quarter, 21-0. So that can't happen, especially against a Jaguar team. You don't want to fall into a trap like the Bills did against the Jaguars, especially before you're going into the playoffs. The running back situation here, as far as fantasy goes, Damian Harris, just straight baller. I think the one to be worried about a little bit here, who's on the cusp, is Ramondre Stevenson. How many touches he's going to get today. And Brandon Bolden's a guy I think I'm probably sitting today for sure. Not many players in this game either. Jacoby Myers, Kendrick Bourne been fairly average. You know who I saw was on the roster of the Jacksonville Jaguars that I totally forgot about was Laquan Treadwell, drafted by the Minnesota Vikings. He's doing some things. He's doing all right.
Yeah, he's the one who Urban Meyer locked up LaVisca in the doghouse for. He wanted more Treadwell.
You remember Treadwell went like his whole rookie year. He was in the game, but he just wouldn't get catches. He only had like 10 catches, something silly his first year. But it's good to see him, taking some snaps. He's a first round draft pick, man. He had high hopes and definitely has not lived up to them. I like the Patriots defense a lot in this game too. Mac Jones is an interesting start here. I do see why you're weary about the spread because I just don't know where the Patriots are going to score all these points to cover that. It's kind of interesting. But Mac Jones right now, he's got 18 passing touchdowns on the season. He needs 1 more to tie Jim Plunkett for the most by a Patriots rookie. So hoping he can get there. Patriots should take care of this game. I just don't know if they'll cover. So I'm going to say I'll say the Jaguars cover 7. Yeah, Jaguars will cover 17. They'll probably lose by like 16. Watch. But, give me the Patriots in this one, and I'm going to take the over.
Big shout out to Tuto for the $4.99 super chat. Says, salute to you, Authentic. Drop by your office to pay our proper respects. And for Giants Nations, we slap all slimy, stinky Eagles fans.
My man.
Lehu the hers out of the doors. And thank you for taking a screenshot of my body and using it as your avatar on YouTube. I
Yo, someone said that. Oh, Bad Dog said that to him yesterday. He said, man, stop using my pictures as your profile pic.
I appreciate the homage, my man. Thank you very much.
Tudo out here got the studio lighting sitting on the abs and whatnot. Shout out my man Tudo in the building one time.
That's how I'm trying to look for the wedding. You know what I'm saying? So we go see.
I got a little bit of time, man. Got a little bit of time.
Very little bit of time. This is the thing also is I didn't get to properly go out like a fat slob before the new diet because I got COVID. So it's like I missed out on all of the 7-Eleven pizza and everything, man. But you know what?
7-Eleven pizza is probably why you got COVID in the first place.
That's what Tommy was saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next game on the docket is going to be the Los Angeles Rams, who are 11-4. They are 6-point favorites. Head down to Baltimore, face the Ravens, who are 8-7. The over/under in this game is 46.5. Kickoff is at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mr. Awthentik, tell me what you got.
All right, so we didn't talk about playoff implications in the Patriots game. They're 95% in right now. If they lose, it can dip down to 69%, but they're basically in right now. When it comes to the Rams and the Ravens, y'all know who I'm checking for first and foremost, my man Odell Beckham. But right behind Odell Beckham is Cooper Kupp, man. That dude is definitely balling. He's got a chance to become the 4th player since 1970 to lead in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns in a single season. These names on this list kind of surprised me, too. It's Steve Smith in 2005, Sterling Sharp in 1992, and Jerry Rice in 1990. Cooper Kupp has 132 catches on the season, 1,734 yards, and 14 touchdowns. That boy is having a year right now. The Rams have clinched their playoff spot, and now they can secure the NFC West with a win and a Cardinals loss. So they are rooting for the Cowboys today as well. A lot of different players I like in this game, man, especially my man Tyler Huntley. He's got to ball out for Awthentik and The Beard to go get this chip today. You got Matthew Stafford on the opposite side playing fantastic football. I'd say he's right on the cusp of playing MVP football right now. And I really like Sony Michel in this game, man. I think Sony Michel can step up again. I think he's solidified his role now as a guy who, when the main running back goes out and Darrell Henderson, he can step up and do things. We heard a little bit about Cam Akers maybe actually getting a shot at playing this week, but it's not looking like that. Marquis Brown is another one of those guys, you know, when you're in your championship right now with a guy questionable especially, it's so hard to bank on a guy like Marquis Brown. These guys like Devonta Freeman, I feel like they're all very they're reliable to a sense, but now we talking championship football. You got to put the players out there that you know are going to work. Hopefully you got some depth on your team here because Marquis Brown seems like a guy that, I don't know, he's right on the cusp, but don't know if I would have him in my starting lineup. I think Van Jefferson is in a similar position. But as far as the game here, this one is, I want to pick with my heart here and pick the Ravens because I need Huntley to ball out. You know we need that. I'm going to start with the over-under 46.5. I definitely think we are going to get there. I got to take the Rams to win this one, though, and I think they'll cover that 6.
Listen, and the Rams are on the road here. Okay, West Coast team, 1:00 game, which usually, spells trouble for most teams. The Los Angeles Rams are 4-0 at 1:00 East Coast games this year. So you could kind of throw that out the window. That's definitely a little nugget because a lot of people are always like, oh, the West Coast team, they're coming to the East Coast. They're playing at 1:00. They're going to lose.
Travel. Yeah,
that. No. Throw it out the window. This is the Los Angeles Rams, ladies and gentlemen. No Darrell Henderson today, so Sony Michel is the guy. They did not activate Cam Akers for this week. So Sony Michel is going to get a boatload. Now, you got to imagine that Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp are going to go ham, right? And Odell Beckham, because this Ravens defense gave up 525 passing yards last week to Joe Burrow. So I'm looking for Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp to have themselves a game today. And let's not forget Tyler Huntley's #1 target and one of the top tight ends in the National Football League over the last few weeks, Mr. Mark Andrews. The last 3 games, 29 catches, 376 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He's definitely a go-to this week. He is super expensive on DraftKings and FanDuel right now. I want to say he is the highest priced tight end when it comes to daily fantasy sports right now. But, Huntley loves him, so it just makes sense. I do like the Rams to win this game. I like the Ravens to cover the 6 points, and I think we're going to get the over 46.5.
I like it. Shout out Hefe one time in the chat. I see G Nation in the chat. Giants Nation is definitely
11-6.
building.
11-6 G Nation says
11 yeah, we might change it to 11-6. G Nation for sure. Shout out my guy.
James Jones says, I need some help. Start 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. Running backs, Cook, Ronald Jones, Edmonds, Cordell Patterson, Deontay
Running back, so it's probably Damian.
Damian Harris, yes.
Yep.
Wide receivers, Stephon Diggs, Deebo Samuel, Higgins, Lockett, St. Brown. Okay, 2 running backs. I'm going to go with Dalvin Cook and Ronald Jones. 2 wide receivers. I'm going to go with Higgins and Deebo. And then my flex, I'm going to put in Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I like what you did with the wide receivers in the flex. That's awesome. Samuel, Diggs, Higgins is solid. Russell Wilson has been struggling, so Tyler Lockett has been struggling. St. Brown's been having some really good games, though. He's going for his 5th game with at least 8 catches. But I do like the other 3 better. Running back-wise, you got a lot of options here. Edmonds went off last week for us, okay? And he should have a pretty decent game today. I like Ronald Jones, though. I think Ronald Jones is more of a workhorse situation with Tampa Bay. So it was 2 running backs, I believe. Yeah, 2 running backs. I got to go Ronald Jones and Dalvin Cook, too, as well. So I like what you picked. Edmonds is a close, if you're feeling froggy, Edmonds might have a big game.
It all depends on if James Conner plays.
Yeah, it really depends on if James Conner plays. And then Damian Harris, too, man. He's a baller, and they're going up against Jacksonville. So I think all the running backs are really good except Cordero Patterson. Over his last couple of games here, he's only averaging 1.7 yards per touch. Watch out for that. So I'd leave Cordero Patterson out of the mix. Cook has to be in the mix, and you could pair it with either Jones, Edmonds, or Harris, and I think you'll be fine.
Big shout out to Tuto for the $9.99 super chat. Says, and in every fight and brawl, the EMS showed up to help the Philly injured, but no one came forward to witness or testify. That shows you how scared and coward Philly fans are.
I like it. All
right, Tudo!
Tudo in the building one time. He got the bars from Eagles fans, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next game on the docket's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 11-4. They are headed to New York to face the New York Jets, who are 4-11. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 14-point favorites. The over-under in this game is 47.5 points. Listen, this game has 2 guys who I told you about last week, and both guys scored touchdowns. Keyshawn Vaughn, touchdown. Braxton Berrios, touchdown. So
Braxton Berrios was balling on that touchdown. That dude is so fast, bro. He's so fast, bro.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Listen, the Jets run defense, you guys have heard me say this for the last 5 weeks. I feel like they're horrible.
Yeah, they're horrible.
They give up 141.3 yards per game. Tampa Bay's defense has allowed 0 touchdowns in the last 2 games. So as far as that running game went last week without Leonard Fournette, Keyshawn Vaughn had the 7 touches for 70 yards. Ronald Jones had 20 carries. He only had 65 yards, but he did have the rushing touchdown. Antonio Brown last week, without all the other weapons, 15 targets. He is nursing a ankle injury, which might affect things. Mike Evans is going to be active, apparently, but he will be playing a very limited role, so expect him to be more of that decoy sort of situation. Michael Carter had a bounce-back game last week for the New York Jets, 16 carries for 118 yards, but this is a different defense he's going up against this week in the Tampa Bay run defense. I do like Braxton Berrios again this week. I think he's going to be the main option pretty much for Zach Wilson. And, I mean, they're going to try and find ways to get him the ball, whether it's jet sweeps, return game, things like that. And he's really cheap on DraftKings. I think he's $3,700, which is, basically as cheap as it's going to get for a viable option at that wide receiver position. We're rocking Ronald Jones all day for sure. And another guy that you might want to keep your eye out on for in this Tampa Bay team is going to be Brashard Perriman, who is back from the COVID list, and Tom Brady likes that guy a lot. I am going to take Tampa Bay in this game. I'm going to take Tampa Bay to cover. I don't know why, but 14. Yeah, I'm going to take Tampa Bay to cover the 14, and I'm going to go under 47.5.
Yeah, I like Tampa Bay to cover in this one, too. I'm trying to think if I want to take that under 47.5 if the Jets could find a way to put some points on the board. Zach Wilson has just no flash, bro. I haven't seen anything from this kid that makes me go, that guy could be a franchise quarterback.
Last week, he had the longest touchdown run in New York Jets football history.
But that's like Justin Fields, bro. It's like when you running around as a quarterback who we know you're not going to be a running quarterback. Let's just be real here, okay? Zach Wilson is not going to be a running quarterback when it's all said and done. It just reminds me of Daniel Jones' flash. It's like, okay, you get an 80-yard run against the Philadelphia Eagles. That's all good and great, but, like, I just don't see the flashes there. And now you're going up against the GOAT, which is, that's not going to be no fun. You know, the comparisons there are not going to look good in this game. I'm definitely going to take the Bucs to cover the 14. Something to know here is that Tom Brady can join Drew Brees as the only players with 40-plus touchdowns in back-to-back NFL seasons. He's got 37 right now with 2 games remaining, so I hope he can reach that, get to 40 twice. The Buccaneers have clinched, and they clinched the NFC South as well. I don't know about Brashard Perryman either. You kind of hyped him up a little bit. You make me feel a little bit better about him. I think that Tom Brady is going to be struggling with the weapons. You know, we definitely dealing with injuries here. It looked like earlier in the week Antonio Brown wasn't going to play in this game. Definitely like the Bucs defense if you got them in your fantasy. But I will take the Bucs to cover simply because this is New York, and it could be the Jets or the Giants. Both stink at 4-11 right here. But I'm going to take the under 47.5 to just play it safe.
Big shout out to Nick DeWick for the $4.99 super chat. Says, my other lock is the Cowboys -9. He's buying some points and taking the Cowboys -9. That's a little dicey.
That's definitely a little dicey. The Cardinals aren't playing. They're not playing great. They're not playing great ball. No DeAndre Hopkins out there has definitely been hurting them too.
Waterfly says, I hope this betting doesn't affect your draft position, Nick. Oh, man. So that's going to be an interesting game for sure. And I see the Russian bots are in the building. Shout out to the Russian bots. We appreciate
Shout out to the mods, man. Y'all make sure to take care of the Russian bots, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next game on the docket's going to be, I just got some breaking news on this game as well. The Atlanta Falcons are 7-8. They headed up to Buffalo. It's probably going to be snowing. The Buffalo Bills are 9-6. The Falcons are 7-8. The Buffalo Bills, these spreads on these beginning games are insane. The Buffalo Bills are 14.5-point favorites. The over-under in this game is 4-6. Kickoff is at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to my boy Adam. He just hit me up on a text. Said Emmanuel Sanders is out for this game, but Gabriel Davis and Cole Beasley have both been activated off the COVID list. Authentic, tell me what you got about this game.
All right, so I think that 14 is a little bit crazy. Shout out to the graphics department. I don't know what it is about this red and this Buffalo Bills blue. It just looks like blur
90s,
to me sometimes, man.
90s to me.
Yeah, very, very throwback. And it's I don't know, when you do the Patriots red and blue, it just looks a lot better with that navy, but you know what it is. Buffalo's defense right now is third in the NFL with 19 interceptions this season. I think that if the Falcons want to keep this game close, Matt Ryan's going to have to take care of the football. And over the last 4 games, he has definitely done that. He's got 0 touchdowns over the last 4 games. He's been doing it without his workhorse, Cordell Patterson. I talked about this when somebody asked a question about this earlier. Cordell Patterson in the last 2 games is averaging 1.7 yards per touch. He led all running backs with 6.3 yards per touch through week 14 of any running back who had a minimum of 100 touches. So to see him kind of fall off is a little bit crazy. But in return, my man Kyle Pitts, who I've been talking about a lot this season, who was in a serious funk, if you ask me, he's gotten it back together here. The last 3 games, he's had 6 receptions for 102 yards. He's had 4 receptions for 77 yards and 5 receptions for 61 yards. The one problem with Kyle Pitts seems to be the same problem that Julio Jones used to have over there with Atlanta, is he can't score touchdowns. 949 yards on the season. He only has 1 touchdown all year long. I think that's pretty crazy. As far as the playoff implications go in this game, the Bills can clinch a playoff berth with a win and either a Ravens loss or a loss by the Raiders and Chargers. And even if Buffalo loses, his chance to make the playoffs would still be 96%. So they're right up there. The Falcons are still sitting on a 1% chance. They can be eliminated today with a loss or wins by the Eagles and the 49ers. So as far as the game, I'm definitely picking the Bills in this one. I think I'm going to say the Falcons are going to cover that 14.5. I'll go with that. I think that's a lot of points. The Bills have been very unpredictable and sometimes play down to the level of their competition. Bills were a lot of people's Super Bowl pick in the beginning of the year, and now a lot of people have jumped off that ship simply because the Bills are not consistent. And Josh Allen, Entertainer made a good point about this last night, I believe, on his stream. If it wasn't that stream, it was one before that. He talked about Justin Herbert being a guy who really looks like a franchise quarterback because he has it between the ears, just a really smart quarterback, whereas Josh Allen has all the physical, skill set you could possibly want out of a quarterback, but sometimes you get those boneheaded plays that knock you out of field goal contention late. We've seen it in the playoffs a lot, and I think that the Bills, they are the kind of team you think they are right now. They're a solid team. They got a good squad, but I think they're going to lack weapons when it comes time for the playoffs. And I also think when it comes to covering in this game, 14.5, I don't think the Bills can cover that. I think the Falcons are a pretty decent team, a lot better than people thought they were, and I think they'll cover that 14.5.
I think one of the craziest things is there's at least one throw a game from Josh Allen where you're just like,
why?
Like dart, rope, like,
one of those throws. There's always one of those other ones where you're just like, bruh, it's 3rd and 6. Throw the ball out of bounds, kick the field goal. You on the opposing team's 30. Come on. He gets sacked for 12 yards.
I guess you get one of each, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, he throws some of those dart ropes like you know what it reminds me of? It's like the harpoons. You know, a harpoon, like one of them, like the little bow and arrow jumps, but they got a rope on it.
Like you say that harpoon.
Just shooting them jokes. But listen, look, Cordell Patterson, the reason why he's not getting these per high yards per touch is because the Falcons can't run the ball.
It's been like that.
And they're just not, now for some reason they stopped giving him the ball on the passes.
Yeah.
His last 5 games, he only has 10 catches. You gotta find a way. You gotta find a way to get the man the ball.
Yeah,
like you see what he can do for you offensively. Like, it's super important for the Falcons to find a way to get Cordell Patterson the ball outside of just trying to run him in between the tackles. So that's definitely something that
maybe the Cordell Patterson show is over.
No. I need him one more week.
Because it was very surprising, man. It was this whole year. It's like Cordell Patterson out here. We were even saying, man, our team should have took a shot on Cordell Patterson, but maybe the show is over.
No, I need Cordell Patterson. And listen, Gabriel Davis, Cole Beasley, one of those two guys is going to have a big game. No Emmanuel Sanders. And when these conditions and this weather get like this, Josh Allen loves those underneath routes. He's going to need one of those guys to step up. I think it's going to be Gabriel Davis, but it could be Cole Beasley. Who knows? 50-50 shot. So those guys are kind of on my radar as far as, sleeper plays in DraftKings and FanDuel. And then, like you said, Kyle Pitts, his last 5 games, each game his yardage amount has increased over those last 5 games. So he's definitely getting more involved. I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills to win this game. I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons to cover, and I'm going to take the under 46 points.
I like it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next game on the docket is one of the premier games, if you ask me, and one of the best games in the 1 o'clock slot outside of the Giants, Bears, and Washington, Philly game. That's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. They are 11-4. They are 3.5-point favorites. They're headed to Cincinnati. The Bengals are 9-6. The over/under in this game is 51 points. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is out. That's always a key for me when I'm looking at the Chiefs matchups. I just think he's so important to this offense. But Williams is going to step in. He's a guy that can catch the ball out the backfield, which is huge because a lot of these defenses now are, giving they're cutting off that deep stuff for Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes, and they're leaving a lot of that underneath stuff. So it's really important to have a running back who can catch the ball when that's what the defense is going to give you. Obviously, I love Joe Burrow in this game. Joe Burrow won us some money last week. He probably won a lot of people some money last week because he put up an absolutely insane game. I think he's starting to get this thing. Like, I love watching Joe Burrow play football, and I think that everybody always talks about Justin Herbert, but Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, and Tua Tagovailoa have all put up pretty good seasons for their sophomore years. You know what I'm saying? Considering all the drama that Tua's had to go through, the hype that Herbert had to live up to, and Burrow coming off the injury. Those are 3 things that, you look at young quarterbacks, not everybody can deal with. And these 3 guys are 3 of the top 5 in completion percentage over the last 8 to 10 weeks, I believe. So it's just something to keep your eye on. I love Joe Burrow in this game. I think Joe Mixon is probably the one running back that nobody is talking about. He's a top 3 running back in the National Football League this year. He's having an absolutely amazing. Yeah, we talk about Joe Mixon every week. So, definitely want to give Joe Mixon his flowers. You got to give him 20-plus carries. I think that's going to be huge for Cincinnati today to keep Mahomes off the field. Last time Joe Mixon had 20-plus carries was against Pittsburgh. He had 28 carries, 165 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I am going to take the Cincinnati Bengals.
I know you like them Bengals.
I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals to win this game, and I'm going to take the over 51 points.
Only way the Bengals win this game is if they get an early lead. That's the way to take care of the Chiefs. You got to, have Patrick Mahomes on the sidelines, and I think they can do it with the running game with Joe Mixon, who for me has been a bit of a surprise this year. He usually is a standout in the fantasy world, top 10 vibes and whatnot, and usually doesn't live up to that. And I think this year he's definitely lived up to that, and managed to be healthy. Managed to stay healthy throughout most of the year. On the flip side of this, with Clyde Edwards-Helaire out. Darrell Williams, last time Clyde Edwards-Helaire was out was against the Raiders, and Darrell Williams had 11 carries for 43 yards. He had 9 receptions for 101 yards and a touchdown. So I think he's no slouch as far as filling in for CEH. I like him in this matchup. You talked about Joe Burrow. What I wanted to ask you, too, was if you had to go with one quarterback in this game, would you go with Joe Burrow over Patrick Mahomes?
Right now?
Fantasy, today. You got them both on your lineup. You like that. You like that.
I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes today.
Yeah. I think I'd go Patrick Mahomes too.
But it's close. It's close. It's definitely close. I mean, I don't know. I got a feeling that Patrick Mahomes is going to put up some crazy numbers today.
And Joe Burrow coming off the big game, it's like, can he put together another game that's even close to that when you're thinking fantasy? I think that the Bengals rely on the run a little bit more today. Definitely try to keep Pat Mahomes on the sideline. Tyreek Hill, man, it's going to be an interesting matchup for him today, too. I think he's going to have to make some big plays if the Chiefs are going to want to win this game. But I'm going to go opposite of you, man. I'm going to take the Chiefs in this one. And I think they'll cover, and I'll take the over. I think we'll get over 50. Is it 51 still? Yeah, we'll get over 51.
Yep. So it's going to be a fun game, I think. Or it's going to be one of those 17-13 games. Whenever you think a game's going to be a fun game, it ends. So most of the time, it ends up like those 17-13 games. But it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Hopefully, the weather behaves for this game. The next game on the dock is going to be the Miami Dolphins, who are 8-7. They are on a roll. First team ever to lose 7 games and win 7 games in the same season. They're headed down to Tennessee, who's 10-5. The Tennessee Titans are 3-point favorites. The over-under in this game is 40.5 points. Listen, the Titans, if they want to win this game, they're going to have to get to Tua Tagovailoa. That Miami offensive line is a little sketchy at times, and the Titans are 10th in the National Football League with 37 sacks on the season. Welcome back, A.J. Brown. He had an absolutely amazing comeback game last week. He had 11 catches, 145 yards, and 1 touchdown. You can see how much that guy means to Ryan Tannehill in this offense, especially without Derrick Henry. The Miami Dolphins running back room has gotten insane. I don't know what's going on. Myles Gaskin last week, 3 carries. Phillip Lindsay and Duke Johnson got 13 carries each. So Phillip Lindsay is a guy that you might want to keep your eye on as far as a sneaky play on DraftKings today. Miami is only allowing 11.71 points per game during their win streak. So that defense is definitely stepping up. I don't think anybody's talking about that defense. I'm playing the Miami defense a lot on my DraftKings and FanDuel lineups today. I think that defense is legit. I am going to take the Miami Dolphins in this game to cover the 3 points. I don't know if they win. I'll take Miami Dolphins to cover the 3 points. I'm going to take the under 40.5. I think this is going to be a sloppy defensive game. I think each team gets multiple turnovers, but I like Miami to keep the streak rolling. I mean, there's a great chance that Tennessee comes out here and slaughters Miami, but you got to play the hot hand sometimes, and Miami has been finding ways to win games. I love the coaching staff. I love their defense. I love their young players on their defense. I think Tua has shown a lot of maturity, and Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle is just another guy that just doesn't get enough love. The guy is breaking records. He is just an absolutely amazing thing for Tua Tagovailoa in that intermediate pass game, and then it opens things up for Devontae Parker when he's healthy down the field. But I like the Dolphins to cover, and I think that we're going to get the under 40.5 in this game.
I like it, man. I definitely think this is going to be a major wide receiver matchup. Jalen Waddle versus A.J. Brown. You talked about A.J. Brown's comeback game last week. Kudos to Ryan Tannehill, man, for just like holding it together on the offensive side of the ball. He's having a down year for sure, but he's definitely holding it together over there with Tennessee. And they're still winning games. They keep surprising me every week with a W. But I think in this game, Jalen Waddle's probably going to have the bigger game than A.J. Brown, and I think that's going to be the difference maker. Jalen Waddle, his target share has just been ridiculous the past 4 weeks. It's gone up every game, and he's got 18 fantasy points PPR, above 18 in every one of those games. Titans are set up to clinch the AFC South with a win or a Colts loss. A lot riding here, but I got to take the Dolphins outright in this game. I just think they're just striding right now, and I don't see the winning streak coming to an end today. And Jalen Waddle's going to ball out, man. Tua's definitely proven some people wrong. He went from on my list being a guy that I was like maybe it will be a reach if Washington traded for him to now looking like he's probably going to be the guy in Miami moving forward. Shout out to Brian Flores over there getting things together, man. One of the few, if not only, coach from the Patriots Bill Belichick coaching tree that's actually getting things done, man. I wish we could have lucked up and got that coach instead. But I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins in this one, and I'm going to take the over in this one. And it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a close game. I wish that the Dolphins were favored by 3 because I would give the Titans the cover.
Yeah, that's an interesting this game is really – I mean, the teams are very similar. You know, like they both find ways to win. Like they're not necessarily the flashiest, or the stingiest, but they find ways to win. So I think it's going to be a fun game. And this weather,
both these teams, the records are higher than the roster looks. You know what I mean? Like on paper, these teams don't, especially with the Titans' injuries. I didn't mention this either. They in NFL history, they've had the most starters of any team ever. So they are decimated as far as injuries goes. I want to say they've played 23 different players on each side of the ball. And here we are in New York complaining about the injuries and the quarterback situation and whatnot. But that's why I say Ryan Tannehill has held it together. And these teams they don't look like they're supposed to have these kind of records. You know, Dolphins sitting at 8-7. Titans are 10-5 right now. I mean, it really doesn't make any sense. I don't know how they've done it without Derrick Henry in the backfield, but they've done it, running back by committee.
Yeah, big shout out to everybody in the chat. We got 51 people watching right now. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up while you guys are here. Next game on the docket gonna be graphics department. Love the Colts home colors. Las Vegas Raiders are 8-7. They're headed to Indianapolis to face the Colts, who are 9-6. The Colts are 8-point favorites, and the over-under is 46.5. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Carson Wentz has cleared COVID protocol and will play
I don't
quarterback
get that.
today.
There's some sketchy
and
going on.
Listen,
There's some sketchy going on.
I was going to bring this up. I don't know how the hell these people are clearing protocol. So, I'm thinking, because this is what I do. I do the NFL stuff, and I follow all this stuff. So I'm, testing. I'm all right, today's the day. Clearing protocol. And then you test it, you're like, I just want to clear. I just want a negative test. So, yeah, but he's playing, apparently. So,
and he's
Jonathan Taylor.
So that's something right there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're just gonna, let the NFL be the NFL. Jonathan Taylor, have a game today, my man. Have a game today.
We need it.
We need you. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there saying that his workload has increased over the last couple of games. So I expect him to have a big game today for sure. I mean, the Colts are averaging 154.9 yards per game running the ball. And Las Vegas, they're 19th in the rush defense. They're allowing 115.7 per game. Yeah, so let me tell you, Jacobs, give the guy the ball.
Yeah.
He had his first 100-yard game last week.
He's looking like Miles Sanders last year.
27 carries, 129 yards. They definitely got to find a way to get him more touches. And Hunter Renfrow, what's up? Just throw your best player in the football, please. The guy only has 8 targets in his last 2 games. The 3 games before that, 33 targets.
Yeah, but I think people are starting to, the word is out on Renfrow now. He's a guy, so they're not treating him like, Valdez Scantling no more. And that caliber of wide receiver, they know he's the real deal now.
I'm going to take the Colts to win this game. I think the Raiders cover that 8 points, though, and we're going to hit the over 46.5. And Jonathan Taylor is
pick an upset here.
I know you do. Jonathan Taylor is going to rush for over 150 yards and 2 touchdowns today.
All right, well, if Jonathan Taylor gets over 150 yards, then you can definitely guarantee a Colts win. The Colts are 9-0 when Taylor gets over 100 yards. That's one.
Nugget.
He's sitting on 1,626 yards, leading rusher in the NFL right now. But this is the part that kind of threw me off a little bit when I was looking up numbers for this game. Okay, the Raiders, they have not allowed a team to rush for 200 yards in a game this whole season. And the Raiders have not given up more than 89 yards on the ground in their past 2 games. So that run defense that everybody was talking about is garbage seems to be making a turn for the good here. Who's the Who's the Boss theme song? There's a bar on there about getting around the bend. I can't remember it exactly, but that's what it seems like the Raiders are doing right now. And Derek Carr, man, right now he's kind of in struggle mode a little bit. You know, he's got 1 or 0 passing touchdowns in 6 straight games. It's the longest streak of his career. He's going to have to get that together. I think that's another reason why Renfro's suffering is because Carr is kind of suffering over there. But considering everything that's gone wrong with that team this year, the Raiders are in a decent position here. Playoff implications, the Colts can clinch a playoff berth with a win. The Raiders are fighting to stay alive here. They enter with an 18% chance of reaching the playoffs, and their chances will rise to 48% with the win, but fall to 8% with the loss. So they pretty much got to win out. The Raiders will be eliminated with a loss and 1 of 5 different combinations of wins from the Ravens, Chargers, Bills, Patriots, Dolphins, and Steelers. So they need a lot to go their way so they can stay in the mix here. Definitely what you talked about with Jacobs, bro, the reason why I compared him to Miles Sanders, it just reminds me of Doug Peterson with Miles Sanders. Like, you have a quality running back in the backfield that you just do not want to give the ball to in volume and give him workload that he deserves. Jacobs seems to be a guy who's just always running positive yards. He's the kind of running back that I would love to have on my team for sure. Kind of seems like a bit of a hybrid running back because he can do some things out of the backfield, but also has the power running skills. Kind of reminds me of Antonio Gibson a little bit with a little bit more burst. But as far as the game goes, I really want to pick the Raiders for the upset here. Colts being at home is going to be the difference maker for me. So I'm going to take the over in this one, and I think the Colts are going to cover this one. I think that the Raiders are going to be down by 2 scores late in this game, and they won't get in the end zone.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game. It's a very unique matchup. I did want to give a big shout out to BB Jones. You weren't here earlier. Unfortunately, I have been out with COVID, but I did want to pay my respects for your Dallas Cowboys putting a whooping on my Washington football team. An embarrassment, some might say. Not I, but some may say. But I did want to give you the respect and the time that you deserve, and for you coming here week in and week out and being a Dallas Cowboy fan. I just wanted to show you a little bit of love.
That Fat Albert. Hey. He was talking on that roadmap.
Big shout out to E&A. We got time for the $4.99 super chat. Says, what's up, fellas? Sorry I'm late. I don't know. We don't have much to play for, but what's the over-under you think on Galladay's scoring this year at all? Well, listen, if it's going to be there's going to be a time for him to score. It's going to be today, right? I mean, who else do you have?
If it don't happen today.
Receiver.
And that has not been a major point of emphasis of why wide receivers will get a touchdown on the New York Giants, because we've been banged up at wide receiver all year, and none of these dudes can score. Odell Beckham goes over to L.A., get 4 quick touchdowns, no problem in 5 weeks. We can't even score a touchdown in the wide receiver department here. I'm going to take the under on this one and say that he's not going to score a touchdown all year long.
And do you know how crazy that would be if he doesn't score a touchdown all year?
Well, I mean,
we're there pretty much.
Kyle Pitts got 1 touchdown, so maybe we can hang our hat on that.
Hey, listen, you know what? That's why you're
He's got 3. He's got like 2 times the yards that Kenny Galladay has. Kenny Galladay is supposed to be a number 1 wide receiver. He's got like 40 catches on the year for like 500 yards. It's been bad. It's been really bad. And if you got Fromm going out there taking some snaps today, that's even worse. I don't see Galladay getting in the end zone.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Great timing there, bud. The next game on the docket is going to be the New York Giants, who are 4-11. They're headed to Chicago to face the Bears, who are 5-10. The Chicago Bears are 6.5-point favorites. The over/under in this game is 36.5. That's like the spread in the Patriots Jaguars.
36.5, bro.
Listen, I don't know who's playing quarterback. I don't know who's playing wide receiver. You said both?
Both of them. That's what they committed to.
Both of them.
Yeah, I'd look for Mike Glennon to get the start today and for Jake Fromm to get some PT, especially if this game gets out of hand.
And Andy Dalton is playing quarterback for the Chicago Bears today. Saquon Barkley, Booker. I mean, just run the ball a lot. This game's going to be a little weathery, to say the least. Chicago does allow 124.1 yards per game on the ground. I know a name that has been floating around the daily fantasy football world is David Montgomery. A lot of people are expecting David Montgomery to have a big game today. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I wouldn't mind playing either one of these teams' defenses
it should be low scoring.
In a jam situation or in daily fantasy, because both of them are going to be very cheap when it comes to DraftKings and FanDuel, and I just don't think a lot of points are going to be scored in this game. Darnell Mooney, like, that's what I'm looking for. Is Darnell Mooney going to have himself a game? We need I need Mooney. I need a lot. Mooney to the moon. So like we need some of that today. But listen, I mean, the Giants are in a really tough situation, man. And I feel your guys' pain. If anybody does, it's myself. This is
one of the worst quarterback situations I can remember on any team, bro.
Like for the Giants or any NFL team?
Any NFL team, bro.
So, I mean, you're up there with, like, the Mark Sanchez sort of situation we were in,
Worse.
Listen.
Josh Johnson and Mark Sanchez in comparison to Mike Glennon and Jake Fromm?
Yeah, well, I mean, at least you've had Jake Fromm and Mike Glennon there. We picked up Mark Sanchez and Josh Johnson at the bus stop with
I'd rather go get Mark Sanchez right now than have Mike Glennon out there taking snaps for the New York Giants.
Believe that 1 second.
I'm so dead serious. Mike Glennon is so bad at quarterback, bro. 8 interceptions in 5 games, bro. You're supposed to come here in relief and be the game manager. You just out here throwing interceptions like it's nothing. And Jake Fromm, is that not, I used to always talk about Nate Peterman's debut for the Buffalo Bills when he started as the worst NFL start I had ever seen in my entire life for a quarterback. 26 yards, bro, on 17 throws. I mean, I can still throw it a little bit.
Listen, I don't have an answer for that. Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make
I blame Jason Garrett.
Like a lot of Giants fans are still doing.
I don't know what to tell you about this game. Listen, I think the Giants cover the 6.5. There might be a miracle here. I know the Giants need to win this game.
Let me give you a nugget before you commit to that.
I'm committed, man. I'm committed.
Okay, the Giants on the road right now this season, we've lost 6 straight games on the road by an average loss of 16.3 points. You sure the Giants gonna cover?
Yeah, the Giants gonna cover.
I like that. If you are in a fantasy football championship, I'm begging you to sit Saquon Barkley today. Everybody been waiting for it to come around all year long. It just hasn't come around. A lot of that has to do with this roster and the knee injury with Saquon Barkley. You can't forget he blew up the whole knee. Every CL you could possibly rip or tear, he ripped and teared those. I like David Montgomery in this game like you talked about. He handled 84% of the touches last week for running backs for the Chicago Bears. It was the 5th highest rate of Week 16 behind Najee Harris and a few others. The Giants are 0-4 against the spread right now since Daniel Jones went out. It's been bad in New York. I don't like any players in this game. Mike Glennon, nope. Saquon Barkley, nope. Devontae Booker, nope. Kenny Galladay, nope. Evan Ingram, nope. Giants defense, absolutely not doing it, not taking the risk. Andy Dalton is one of the more favorable fantasy matchups in this game, but don't you dare take that risk during championship week. Dave Montgomery, obviously, and we're crossing our fingers and saying prayers that Darnell Mooney can actually do some things in this game, hopefully take advantage of this beat-up New York Giants defense that has been playing average or below average all year long. I wanted to pick the Giants to win this game. Had Justin Fields been a quarterback, I would have picked the Giants to win this game. Can you start Andrew Thomas in fantasy? Absolutely not, bro. Man.
Listen,
man.
The real question here is, do you have the cojones, the marbles, to take the under 36.5?
Yeah, definitely. If Chicago can score under 20, I love that 37. I love that.
All right, we're both taking the under 36.5, right?
Yeah, I'm taking the under.
Book it.
Yeah, we not gonna get there.
Is there anything else?
As far as the win, man, I want to pick the Giants. Look, off the strength, it's the last time I could pick the Giants, I feel like.
Well, you guys get to play us next week, man. Hey, listen, you guys didn't know. It's Authentic and the Beard week next week.
We streaming every day.
We're going to be somewhere every day.
I like that. I'm taking my Giants, man. Y'all know what it is, Giants Nation. Let's get it. I'm taking the Giants. Andy Dalton going to be a problem. Defense going to have to show up. We need one of those games from the defense like we had against Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers. We need something like that. Hold them to like 10 points. I think we could win this game. Granted, we haven't scored a touchdown in what feels like 10 weeks. Give me the Giants. I'm going Giants. This will be the last win that the Giants get. It'll raise our draft pick for us, but it'll lower that Chicago Bears pick. I'm with it. Let's go.
So, like, it's like a win-win here, right? Draft-wise?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of. You know, the Giants pick could be a earlier pick. You beat the Bears. Yeah, I mean, actually flip-flop. You beat the Bears pick becomes an earlier pick, but it's the later pick right now of the two.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of like, which one do you want to be earlier? The Giants take an L here and go to 4-12. If any of these other teams win, like if the Jets win, we could jump them, and there's a couple of teams out there.
It's going to be an interesting day of football.
Yeah, I'm excited for those 1 o'clock games for sure, man.
On the docket, the last game during the 1 o'clock slot is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles, who are 6-9. They are 6-point favorites. They're headed down here to D.C., Washington, the nation's capital. Face the football team who's 8-7. The over/under in this game is 45 points. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Washington football team does not have Antonio Gibson. They do not have William Jackson. They do not have Montez Sweat. I don't think we have our punter, who's typically one of our best players on our team over the last,
Tress Way, right?
Yeah, Tress Way, man. Dude,
been balling.
I mean, he's the best. The Eagles don't have Miles Sanders. Jordan Howard's coming into this game questionable, injury. But it looks like he will play.
Right.
Boston Scott's going to be listen, this might be a Boston Scott versus Jarrett Patterson, the battle of the little bowling ball running backs. Like we got something like that going on. I'm looking for Jarrett Patterson. Jarrett Patterson, I mean, he might have himself a game today. Look, listen, Scott Turner, if you're not going to run the football, take Taylor Heineke out. Put Kyle Allen in. Listen, I told you, you want to win football games, you got to run the football. If you're not going to run the football, then put in the quarterback that can throw the ball further than the quarterback that can't throw the ball far at all. It just makes logical sense to me. And Ron Rivera did bring this up at his press conference this week, said there is a chance that you do see some Kyle Allen action today. Listen, that's where I'm at in this game. I really don't. That's my notes. The Eagles have allowed Listen, this is one nugget. The Eagles have allowed less than 215 passing yards in 6 straight games. So I'm going to take the Washington football team, that being said, to win the game, I'm going to take the under 45.
I hate this because watch Washington end up winning this game.
If you look at the playoff scenario, Washington kind of has the best opportunity if they can just win. Just win, baby.
Wanted to make you think I froze there. Y'all got the best opportunity. You crazy. All right, listen, you got to sit Terry McLaurin today. With the quarterback struggling over there, Terry McLaurin is struggling over there. Last week, he had 3 receptions on 6 targets for 40 yards. Since week 11, he has not gone over 8.5 PPR fantasy points in any of his games. 2 weeks ago versus the Eagles, he had 2 receptions on 4 targets for 51 yards. You got to sit that guy. On the other end of wide receiver spectrum here, Devonta Smith needs 92 receiving yards to pass Deshaun Jackson for the most by a rookie in Eagles history. Jalen Hurts needs 70 passing yards to become the 5th player with 3,000 passing yards and 10 rushing touchdowns in a season, joining your boy Kyler Murray, Cam Newton, Cordell Stewart, and Dante Culpepper. The Eagles can clinch a playoff berth with a win and losses by the Saints and Vikings, or a win and losses from the Vikings and the 49ers. It's going to be tough for them. I don't know how I feel about the Eagles getting in. You remember I was telling you about Washington? I was like, I don't want to see y'all get in the playoffs because I'm going to feel some kind of way. Rich Homie Quan vibes. And I feel the same way about the Eagles. I don't know if I'm gonna feel worse about that or not. I wasn't too upset when Philly made their run in 2017, so I can't be. I don't know. You gotta pick your poison here. And Washington poison while I'm sitting here on the bench and you over here having a great time in the playoffs playing against the Bucs with house money. That was not fun last year, I must admit. And we got a viral clip from Nate Sudfeld himself last season when the Eagles did the perfect tank job. But I got to go Eagles in this game, man. That rushing game has just been unstoppable. They had the streak of over 175 yards. They had the streak of over 200 yards. They just been doing their thing on the running with the running game. Sirianni kind of tried to get away from it against them Giants in that first quarter. He kind of scared me. I don't know what's up with him, man. He be trying to show, hey, I can throw the ball. Just put that to the side. Run the rock all day long. RPO, read option. Get your boy Jalen Hurts involved. Love Jalen Hurts in this matchup. I think Boston Scott is probably the sneakiest person you could put in your starting lineup today. I think it's risky, especially with Jordan Howard supposed to play in this game. He is a little bit banged up. But give me the Eagles, and I got the Eagles covering this one. I'm going to take the over, as a matter of fact, as well.
Yeah, Jordan Howard, when Miles Sanders has been out, has been averaging 13.7 carries, 70.3 yards, and 1 touchdown. So definitely something to keep your eye on there. All right, next game on the dock, it's going to be moving in at 4 o'clock. Gotta go. Denver Broncos, 7-8. They are headed to the Los Angeles Chargers, who are 8-7. They are 7.5-point favorites. The over/under is 45. Kickoff is at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Chargers need to win. They got to bounce back here. That was just a horrible loss against the Houston Texans, and everybody in here laughed at me when I said the Houston Texans are going to cover against the Los Angeles Chargers. Not only did they cover, that they beat the Chargers.
Yeah, I noticed you like those safe plays like that, because then you can come back the following week and be like, I tried to tell you they was going to cover. I didn't tell you they was going to win, but I tried to tell you.
I mean, the safe money, good money.
Yeah, safe money is good money.
Austin Eckler's back. I think that's huge. Don't to take anything away from Justin Jackson, because Justin Jackson had an absolutely insane game last week, and he filled in really well for them. But Austin Eckler is really important for this offense. It just the pace of the offense moves better with him, obviously. They're going to get Mike Williams back. They're going to get Guyton back. So they got the full house of weapons over here in Los Angeles. It's a home game, a must-win game. So it's just definitely, I think it lines up for them. Obviously, everybody's eyes are going to be on the Los Angeles Chargers run defense. Can they finally stop somebody from running the ball? Rex Burkhead ran for like 160 yards last week. And now you're going against a two-headed monster of Devonte Williams. If you guys watch Awthentik and The Beard, you know I love Devonte Williams. Devonte Williams and Melvin Gordon are both active and playing.
Both
Melvin
banged
Gordon,
up, right?
I think. Yeah, both banged up. I think Melvin Gordon is a little bit more banged up than Williams is. But they're going to have to stop the run. They're giving up 140.3 yards per game, that Chargers run defense. So that and another thing you got to keep your eye on. I talked about this guy earlier in the season, Patrick Surtain the second. He's a guy. And a lot of people gave the Broncos grief for drafting a DB and not a quarterback. In my opinion, I thought they had a great draft, because you're in a division with Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. I mean, yeah, you can draft a quarterback and hope that guy catches up to those two guys, or you can draft a corner, a defensive back to, contain those offensive arms of Mahomes and Herbert. And I think Surtain has had a great season. He picked off Justin Herbert 2 times in their first meeting, so that's definitely a matchup to keep your eye on. I just think in the end, the Chargers have the better team. I think that they will win this game, but I think Denver keeps it close. I think Denver covers, and I'm going to take the over 45 points in this game.
Yeah, Denver, you hit some points there, definitely about the defense, man. Their defense is the reason why they've been in a lot of games, in that secondary in particular. On the opposite end here, man, Justin Herbert. So the thing with the Chargers is when he plays well, they win games, and when he doesn't play well, they don't win games. Austin Eckler is probably the main partner in crime as far as it goes for Justin Herbert. But Herbert, in 8 wins this season, his QBR is 80 out of 100. He has 23 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in those wins. In the 7 losses, he's got a total QBR of 43, and he's got more interceptions than he does touchdowns. He's got 11 interceptions and 10 touchdowns. So really, the Chargers' success is predicated on Justin Herbert. This guy is the best young quarterback in the league right now. I think Joe Burrow is pushing a close second. Joe Burrow looks like he's getting taller by the week, I feel like. It's like the better he plays, the taller he gets. He doesn't look like that small stature quarterback that he did his rookie season. As far as the playoff implications go here, neither team can clinch this week. I thought that was really interesting, especially for the Chargers, but both teams could be eliminated today. We'll see. The Broncos will go home with a loss or wins by Baltimore, Pittsburgh, or Miami. The Chargers currently have a 35% chance to reach the playoffs. A win would increase their chances to 53%, but they'd go home if they lose and Baltimore and Miami both win, or they lose and Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh all win. So we definitely got a couple different options there. As far as playoff scenarios, it's surprising to me that the Chargers are here. You know, they're kind of in that same position that the Raiders are in. They're not really like in control of their destiny as far as the playoffs go. Was hoping they could come into this game and clinch, and I think that loss to the Texans last week really, really, really hurt their chances here. Would love to see Herbert get in the playoffs, though. You definitely talked about Austin Eckler. I would stay away from Mike Williams as far as fantasy goes today, because you know he's boom or bust. He's got to rely on the big plays. There's a chance he could get those big plays, but, you know, the Beard was just talking about safe money. There's also the saying that's no risk it, no biscuit. You be the choice. You pick if you want the biscuit or you want to stay with the safe vibes. I think I'm going to stay with the safe vibes. Definitely love Noah Fant in this game. And outside of that, I'm staying away from the wide receivers. Gotta start Keenan Allen. He's a guy. We know that. Keenan Allen is a guy. But outside of that, I'm staying away from the wide receivers in this one. I got to go Chargers, man. I got to go. Even though I just feel like they might fall flat, I got to go Chargers in this one. Hopefully the Chargers are making that turn into being a team that's, you know, a playoff contender. And this will be a staple game for them to beat a team like the Broncos, who I think will be outside looking in as far as the playoffs go. And I think we'll get there as far as the over-under. I think the Broncos will cover the 7.5, though.
Yeah, I think you're pretty much right on target with everything. Big shout out to for the $9.99 super chat. Says, you know, he was able to have lunch with some Giants players back in Jersey and found out they don't get paid on time. And they haven't received any bonuses or incentives. They've been promised. Team morale is down.
Man, I be getting my incentives in NBA 2K, man. My agent be holding me down. How the Giants ain't working on this? This is crazy. Somebody
figure this out.
Shout out my guy Tudo, man.
Shout out Tudo,
my brother.
Next game on the docket is going to be the Awthentik and The Beard Texans, who are 4-11. They're headed to
the graphics department made a mistake on that one. Those ain't their team colors. Somebody told me that they ain't get good sleep last night in the graphics department.
These are throwback colors. Oh, no, listen. Okay, these are UCLA colors. They're playing in California.
I was going to go Houston Oilers with the powder blue.
I don't know where we're going here. The Texans are 4-11. They're headed to San Francisco. The 49ers are 8-7. The 49ers are 13-point favorites. That seems crazy to me. Kickoff is at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The over-under is 44 points. Trey Lance will be starting for the San Francisco 49ers. Rex Burkhead is a guy, apparently, in Texans. He knows how to run the ball. Brandon Cooks is back. Davis Mills, who I've been telling everybody is a guy, has put together quite a pretty good season if you stack him against the rest of the rookie quarterbacks so far.
Sure.
In the 2 games that Brandon Cooks and Davis Mills have played together, Brandon Cooks has 15 catches, 203 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So it'll be interesting to see. Listen, I expect San Francisco to run the ball. Everybody's going to run the ball. Trey Lance is going to run the ball. Deebo Samuel's going to run the ball. Elijah Mitchell's going to run the ball. Jeff Wilson Jr. is going to run the ball. Houston allows 141.3 yards per game on the ground. You got a couple of good tight ends in this game. One very well-known tight end named by the George Kittle, and one unknown tight end, unless you watch Awthentik and The Beard, because I've been telling you guys about Brevin Jordan all season long.
Yes, you have.
He continues to have these really quiet games, and he is dirt cheap on DraftKings. I think he's $2,700 right now. I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers to win this game, but definitely taking the Houston Texans to cover that 13 points, and I'm going to take the over 44 points in this game.
You know, I'm waiting as I'm running down these games to see which game I want to make the upset pick of the week here. And this one is looking a little bit enticing. But the San Francisco 49ers are getting Elijah Mitchell back is what it looks like. And he only played one game in December, I believe. But he had 3 straight games, 4 100-yard games on the season. And he's got 759 yards on the year. He's averaging 4.6 yards per carry, man. He is their guy. He had 3 straight games of 22 carries or more before he got hurt. So I do like the 49ers' chances better with Elijah Mitchell in the lineup. No Jimmy Garoppolo. I think that's going to hurt them a little bit. You know what? I'm going out on a limb here, man. I think that the Texans are going to have the better quarterback situation in this game. This is the upset pick of the week. I'm going Houston Texans, and I'm taking the over. Brandon Cooks, man. Yo, Kenny Galladay, I need you to check out Brandon Cooks. Take some notes. He's doing it with a rookie quarterback over there. The guy's name is Davis Mills, my co-host, the best co-host in the country, told me about this kid when he got a couple of rookie cards at the beginning of the year. This kid has been playing great football as of late. I'm going with the Texans in this one. Even though I do think that the 49ers will be able to run the ball successfully, I like what the Texans did last week against the Chargers, and I'm riding the wave right now. Shout out my homie Cernak in the building. Y'all know what it is. Texans with the upset.
Listen, I literally just sold yesterday a Brevin Jordan rookie card. So shout out to Brevin Jordan. Appreciate it.
Big shout out, Brevin Jordan.
Big shout out to Josh Latour for the $5 super chat. Says, now that Lamar is officially inactive, would you start Huntley over Hill and Lance?
We're doing it.
I mean, listen, 2 of these guys are my starting quarterbacks in championship games today. I'm starting Trey Lance in one championship, and we're starting Huntley in another championship.
I think Taysom Hill is the better start over Trey Lance. I do think that. Over Huntley, I don't know.
Should I start Davis Mills instead of Trey Lance? No.
Yeah.
I could do that.
See, I gave that. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next game on the docket is going to be 2 teams that will not be playing in the playoffs. The Detroit Lions, who are 2-12-1, they're headed to Seattle. The Seahawks are 5-10. The spread is Seahawks are favored by 8.5. The over/under is 41. Kickoff is at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This could be Russell Wilson's last game in Seattle. As a Seattle Seahawks quarterback or player at all. Listen, I mean, the Detroit Lions, they got Tim Boyle playing quarterback, but Deandre Swift is back, and I think he is back. He practiced.
Are we gonna put him in the lineup?
We have to discuss that. We have to discuss this at the end of the show. Deandre Swift did practice full all week. He goes into this game carrying no designation. He is apparently, according to running backs coach Deuce Staley, shout out Deuce Staley, he is going to have no limitations. So we will see. I mean, that could be huge, not just for DeAndre Swift and for the Detroit Lions, but for fantasy football managers all across the globe. Rashad Penny is a guy. Versus Chicago, 17 carries, 135 yards, 1 touchdown. Versus Houston, 16 carries, 137 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Detroit allows 127.3 rushing yards per game. So I think Penny is definitely a guy that you're going to have to play here. Keep your eye on DeAndre Swift. Obviously, Amon-Ra St. Brown is a guy we've been talking about, last couple of weeks, and he has shined and has come through no matter who the quarterback is. I mean, Tim Boyle actually played fairly well in the last game when he got to the start. So I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks to win this game. I think Russell Wilson wants to go out with a bang. I think the Lions make it close, though, and they catch the cover. I'm going to take the over 41 points. Shout out to Tuco for the $9.99 super chat. Says back in 2017, Skins Scouts reached out to my agents for roster possibilities, but they found out I'm a diehard Giants fan and great possibilities to beat up all my teammates in the locker room. Shout out to Tuco.
I like that short.
Appreciate it, brother.
So you got the Seahawks in this one.
Seahawks to win in Russell Wilson's last game as a quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks. and the Lions to cover.
Stephen White likes the upset in this one. I'm feeling you 20-17. I like that. Yeah, I just don't think Russell's going out like that. He's definitely been struggling as of late. He's failed to throw for 300 yards in 10 straight games. It's tied for the second longest single-season streak of his career. He didn't record any 300-yard passing games in his rookie season, and he played all 16 games. I got Russell lighting it up today a little bit. You talked about Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's got 4 straight games with at least 8 receptions. He was named NFC Rookie of the Month for the month of December. He is second in the NFL in reception since Week 13, trailing only Cooper Kupp. He's got 35 catches. Cooper Kupp's got 40. Both these teams are eliminated. The one thing you didn't talk about, the Beard, is Seattle don't even got a first-round pick going in next year. They got to make some moves.
Wait, Russell Wilson is not a free agent, though, right?
No, they're looking to
looking
to trade him is what they think.
Yeah,
if they trade him, because you remember last year they talked about the same trade talk they're talking about this year.
No. Now the show is over. It's the curtains.
The show's over.
Up.
You think it's 100% they're going to trade him?
Yeah, it's.
I don't think so.
Everything
because where do you rebuild Seattle would be that's a whole nother show. But I don't know how you would rebuild that with just a couple first-round picks without a quarterback. They look really bad over there. And I think you deflate the careers of guys like Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf when you remove the quarterback. DK Metcalf's kind of struggling already. But I'm going to take the Seahawks in this one, man. I've been waiting for them to just turn that corner all year long. It really hasn't happened. You saw Russell kind of trying to fight there when they were on the brink of being eliminated mathematically from the playoffs. Now they're sitting at 5-10. It's really bad over there. But the Lions are a better team than the record says, but I don't think they're a better team than the Seahawks. I'm going to take the Seahawks in this one. What are they favored by in this? 8.5? I got the Lions covering the 8.5, even with your boy Tim Boyle at quarterback.
Yeah. Josh LaTorre, that would be a ballsy move. I'm not mad at it, but it would be ballsy.
No, I like that. Yeah, I definitely like that. As long as Swift is active and healthy, hopefully he's getting the touches he deserves. Yeah, I think he'll be a better start than Montgomery.
All right, and one of the games that everybody seems to be talking about is the Arizona Cardinals, 10-5, losing a game last week. They're headed to Dallas, who apparently won a game last week against the Washington football team. I think it was a close game. The Cowboys are favored by 6.5 points. The over-under in this game is fitted 1.5. Kickoff is at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Authentic, I'm going to let you tell me what you got.
I mean, this one is fairly simple. This one of those games where, you got a lot of fantasy players in this mix. I think the sleepy pick is Christian Kirk, man. He's definitely been balling out with DeAndre Hopkins out of the lineup. And Chase Edmonds, man, we plugged him into our lineup last week, was a major part of why we got the W that sent us to the championship game here. You know the regular names, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard. They've been pretty consistent all week or all year. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, y'all know what it is there. Michael Gallup, I think, is a very interesting start today. He's the thing about Michael Gallup is he's not getting the targets over there. I would like to see him go to another team. I'll keep it funky with you because I think he's a really good wide receiver. And there was a kid who came off the bench for them as well with a big play last week. I forget the homie's name. Turner. What's his first name?
Miles, Malcolm, Malik.
I think it's Malik Turner. He made he was showing that he can make some plays last week. But as far as, the regular names, man, I'd expect them to do what they do in this game. Add Dalton Schultz to that list. I like the Cowboys defense here too, man. They're going to create some turnovers. Definitely been getting a lot of takeaways on the season this year. I'm going to go with the Cowboys in this one, and I'm going to go with the Cowboys pretty impressive. I'm going to take the over in this one, and I got the Cowboys covering that 6.5.
Wow. Listen, James Conner's going to be a game-time decision. That's going to be one of the most important things to keep your eye on in this matchup, fantasy-wise. I like the tight ends in this game. I like Schultz and I like Ertz. I think the tight ends are going to play a huge role, and I think you're going to see the CeeDee Lamb, Christian Kirk. I think those are going to be the two big receivers in this game. Chase Edmonds last week, 16 carries, 56 yards, touchdown, 8 catches, 71 yards. So, he's a guy that's going to do it all. That's what's going to be super important for the Arizona Cardinals in this game. Listen, the Budda Baker questionable for the Arizona Cardinals. I think that's going to be a huge turn of events. They really need Budda Baker in this game. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the National Football League on the defensive side of the football. Dallas is number 1 in scoring offensively, which is, crazy. And then they have the most takeaways in the National Football League at 33. But if you break down their defense in comparison number-wise to the Arizona Cardinals defense number-wise, amount of yards, points allowed, rushing yards allowed, passing yards allowed are almost identical to the Cowboys. They actually allow less points and they allow less passing yards. They do allow a little bit more rushing yards than Dallas does. So I think Arizona's defense is going to have to step up big in this game if they want to win this game. And I think that the way that the Cardinals operate their offense matches up well against that Dallas front. Kyler Murray is going to have to be elusive today because we know how crazy that Dallas Cowboys defense is when it comes to getting to the quarterback. So I think that Kyler Murray is going to give them a little bit of a problem. I think that the Arizona Cardinals win this game. I do think it is a close game, but I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals to win this game, and I'm going to take the over. I think the Cardinals win by 3 points.
You definitely picking with your gut because you want your team in the playoffs.
Big shout out to Tuto. Well, it doesn't matter if the Cowboys win or not.
True.
It doesn't affect. Yeah.
It's just your hatred.
It says it doesn't matter who do you bring in as GM, head coach, or quarterback as long as Moron Mar family manipulate and enforce their opinions. Season is always dead. Forget about it.
Big fact. Shout out my man Tudo in the building one time, man. Appreciate you pulling up, my G. Yeah. So you got the Cardinals. I got the Cowboys. I think you're crazy picking the Cardinals, but we shall see.
Cardinal Rule says he's got a nugget. Dallas has played the 5th easiest schedule this season
of any team.
Mm-hmm.
Where I wonder where the other teams fall too. But yeah, it makes sense with the Cowboys because they were dead last in the division last year, so they played a lot of the bottom teams this season. But it didn't look that easy of a schedule. I mean, you remember when we talked about in the beginning of the year, the Cowboys had the easiest road on the first 8 games. When it came down to it, the teams they played looked all right. I mean, it wasn't as difficult as Washington or New York was, but the teams they played looked all right. That's interesting to know, though, that they've had the 5th weakest schedule in the NFL, man. But I like the Cowboys team. I think they're stacked. They have a player in every position.
And they're healthy. They're one of the few healthy, like fully healthy teams. I mean, obviously Zeke's just banged up a little bit, but I mean, to be healthy at this time of everybody is just decimated.
And remember, I told you if they could win them ugly games, man, when they were banged up, when they were hurt, when people were saying Dak Prescott was in that slump, they were dealing with the toe injury from Pollard. They were dealing with the knee injury from Zeke. They had their left tackle had an injury. They had some injuries up front on the defensive line, and now they're getting to be healthy at the perfect time. And did they not? I want to say they won every game in December there. So far.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. Around
yeah.
Twitter.
So entering here in the playoff season, it's looking really good for the Cowboys. I saw a lot of people on Tanner's in his chat yesterday saying the Cowboys are going to be one and done. I don't know about that. I think the Cowboys can match up against any team in the NFC right now, including the Packers, and possibly get a W.
I agree. I think at full strength they're scary. Big shout out to M Graham 9. Checking in from Twitch. Says, hey, guys, half point PPR flex. Oh, my gosh. Jaret Patterson or Agumbawale.
Agumbawale.
Yeah.
Sounds Haitian a little bit, too.
Yeah, it's Nigerian.
Nigerian.
I did a little research. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's a tough one right there.
Agumbawale.
I think I'm going to go Agumbawale.
I think I'm going to go Agumbawale, too, just off the strength of the name. It's so fire. And Jaret Patterson, he ain't really done much. They're not committed to him over there. With Gibson out, that helps, but could this be you? Do I go with the home team vibe, man?
I don't know.
I think I'm going to go Jaret Patterson. I take it back, man. I'm going to go Jaret Patterson. My homie, shout out to my homie, Big Sean. He was a barber out here. He used to cut my hair back in the day, moved to Cali, put me on to a homegirl, Amber, and Jaret Patterson is Amber's cousin. So I'm going to go with Jaret Patterson on this one, strictly off some pride.
You saw Sean got engaged, right?
Yeah, I did. And his fiance is I did a video for her before they were dating. I did a video for her. She was a dance instructor. I don't know if you remember that dance video I did. with like 3 girls. That was her up front on that one, So congratulations to the homie Sean, man. They got engaged.
Big shout out
in Cali.
Big shout out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to fly through these last 3 games. The Carolina Panthers are 5-10. They are headed to New Orleans, not for Mardi Gras, but to play the Saints. Saints are 7-8. The Saints are 6.5-point favorites. This is another ugly over-under at 37 points. Kickoff is at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I literally have no notes on this game. It just says Kamara and Saints defense. So I'm going to say that Alvin Kamara is the guy. And the Saints defense, I mean, they were missing quite a few people last week when they faced the Miami Dolphins. But besides that, they haven't given up double-digit points in the previous, 3 or 4 weeks. So, I mean, the Panthers offense is just putrid as of late. I don't really have much for you guys. I think the Saints are going to win this game. I think the Panthers cover, and I think we're going to get over 37 points in this game. It's inside.
This one's going to be tough, man. I think coaching wins this game, and I got to give the coaching nod to Sean Payton for sure. Carolina has lost 5 straight games. They've lost 10 of their past 12. I don't even see how that makes sense, but they're still somehow not mathematically eliminated. I believe the Saints still have a realistic playoff hope here if they can win their final 2 games against Carolina and Atlanta. The Saints are allowing an NFL best right now, 9.7 opponent points per game since week 14. They have allowed only 1 offensive touchdown since week 14. So yeah, I'm going Saints in this game for sure. Not a lot fantasy-wise. Taysom Hill could be a guy at the quarterback position if you're in that kind of pickle that we are in here with Huntley and who were the other? Trey Lance, and there was one more in the mix there. Oh, Davis Mills one time. Can't forget about the guy Davis Mills. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Saints in this game. I don't even think the Panthers will cover. The Panthers been struggling, man. I don't even know if they're gonna bring back Cam Newton. Supposedly both quarterbacks are gonna play in this game. We'll see, man. Your boy Sam Darnold had a spark when he started, but now he's just garbage. Been looking real bad. And the one player they compare Sam Darnold to the most since coming into the league is Daniel Jones, man. So that's not looking good for the Giants fans here. I propose the possibility that Daniel Jones might be the backup next year for New York. We shall see, but I'm going Saints in this game. Give me the over. That 37 sounds ridiculous. I know these two teams are definitely not putting up a lot of points, but I'm going to take the over in this one, and I'll take the Saints to cover.
Big shout out to Tudo for the $4.99 super chat. Says we should bring both you guys here to the motherland to plan all the roadmaps for our team. There's always room for improvement to be better.
You in Africa too, though? I didn't know you was in Africa. No, I'm just playing.
Well, I mean,
shout out
to them, the motherland is the grape fields, man, like where they're making all the wine and all the cheese, and we can sit on the Mediterranean and eat some I gotta get all that
paddle boat, maybe a little paddle boat while we're looking up at the blue skies.
Big shout out Tudo. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Definitely.
Sir.
Big shout out, my man Tudo.
Next game on the dock, it's going to be the Minnesota Vikings. They're headed to Green Bay, to Lambeau Field. It's going to be a night game. It's probably going to be cold. The Minnesota Vikings are 7-8, and Sean Mannion is going to be starting a quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. The Packers are 13-point favorites. The over/under in this game is 41.5. Kickoff is at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dalvin Cook in their first matchup had 86 yards rushing and a touchdown. He's going to have to carry the ball 47 times in this game. Aaron Rodgers and Devonte Adams in their first matchup. Aaron Rodgers had 385 yards and 4 touchdowns. Devonte Adams had 7 catches, 115 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Dillon and Jones are going to, try to team up here and kill the clock late in the game, so they might get you guys some points there. In their first matchup, Aaron Jones was out. It was just to A.J. Dillon, so we'll see, but I expect pretty much a more of the same stat-wise. Minnesota did beat Green Bay in their first matchup. I don't think that happens now. Green Bay wins this game. Green Bay, they cover the 13. Let's go out on a limb. They cover the 13. They win the game, and we hit the over 41.5.
Yeah, definitely like the Packers in this game. I think the Packers will cover. Definitely will take the over in this one. The Packers have already clinched the NFC North. They need a Dallas loss and a win to get that number 1 seed and a bye. So they're definitely going to be rooting against the Cowboys and rooting for the Cardinals. We talked about Aaron Jones. He's had at least 20 touches and a touchdown in each of his past 4 games against the Vikings, which that should yield well today. Interesting little nugget here about the Vikings, okay? So the Vikings have 14 games that are one-score games. They're 6-8 in those one-score games. 12 consecutive games have been decided by one score. The Vikings have been in some really, really close football games this season. They got to do something about that defense in the offseason because I feel like the offense is not the problem over there. And Aaron Rodgers, man, he's been on a super hot streak here, man. He's got 16 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in his past 5 games. That boy is playing lights-out football. Aaron Rodgers out here looking like Jesus. I wonder how many more years he has before he's actually going to retire, man. But he's balling. But I definitely got to go Vikings here, man. You said 5, huh?
You said definitely got to go Vikings here?
I'm sorry, I got to go. Well, because you kind of threw my train of thought off when you said 5 more years. I'm definitely going Packers here. I would have went Packers here even if Kirk Cousins was playing because this is a Sunday night game, if I'm correct, right?
Yes, sir. It is a primetime game.
Come on, man. You know Kirk Cousins in them primetime games. He'd be struggling for sure. He's going to be on the sidelines. It's going to hurt the Vikings' chances.
He ain't on the sidelines. He's
going to be watching the game. It's going to hurt their primetime chances.
He's in the plexiglass booth.
Right. So I'm definitely going Packers on this one, man, for sure.
Oh, man. Let's go Devonte Adams. We need a big game, buddy. Big game.
We need a huge
Devonte
game.
Adams.
Gave us a huge game last week, too. Devonte Adams, my God.
Listen, I am glued to the TVs today because I tell you, I need some of this fantasy cash. Wedding is creeping up. Missed out on 2 weeks, basically losing 2 weeks of COVID.
Y'all better have the budget correct for the wedding. I don't want to hear nothing about no fantasy money aiding to the wedding.
It's going straight to the wedding.
Terrible. Well, the way my cut's set up, since the league was, they reached out to me, I'm going to need 75% of the checks. Like, nah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the last game of Week 17 is the Cleveland Browns. They are 7-8. They are 3.5-point favorites. They're headed to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers, who are 7-7-1.
7-7-7.
7-7-1. The over-under in this game is 41.5 points. Kickoff is Monday night at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The first matchup of this game was just pretty much what you expect from an AFC divisional game between the Browns and the Steelers. It was 15-10. Ugh. Sloppy game. Listen, Nick Chubb, just get the guy the ball. Get the guy the ball 40 times. Look, run the damn ball, Cleveland. That's all I gotta say. They run the ball. When they do run the ball, they run the ball well. 144.9 yards per game. And
Facts.
Pittsburgh, guess what? Pittsburgh allows 142.7 yards per game on the ground. If the Browns want to win this game, they got to figure out a way to run the ball. Besides that, I don't really know what to say. Both of these teams are 1 week. They beat somebody the next week. They're down 17 points in the first quarter. Like, I don't know what you guys are doing. I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to pick the Pittsburgh Steelers to win. And I'm going to take the under 41.5.
Dang, that's interesting. Both these teams could be eliminated. Don't forget they played each other last year in the playoffs, man, where the Browns went up crazy on them in the first quarter. I really don't know who to pick in this game. I do think both teams are going to rely on the running game like you talked about with Nick Chubb. Steelers going to be relying on Najee Harris for sure. He needs 94 scrimmage yards and 1 touchdown to become the 6th player in franchise history with 1,500 scrimmage yards and 10 touchdowns in a season. That would put him with Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Willie Parker, Jerome Bettis, and one name that I kind of forgot about back in the day who was kind of like a top 5 running back when he was in the league, Barry Foster. I don't know if you remember the man, Barry Foster. I could tell you don't remember Barry Foster.
I lost on that one.
Barry Foster was when
names.
Madden, shout out to John Madden, rest in peace to John Madden. Yeah. We haven't talked about that on the whole podcast. But when you used to be able to run the toss right, Madden 92, Sega Genesis, 93, Barry Foster was a guy back in the day, for sure, man. I want to just like flip a coin, man. Pick a number 1 to 3, the Beard. It's going to pick my team here. Matter of fact, no, pick a number 1. Okay, I was going to say 1 to 2. You pick 2. I'm going with the Steelers in this one, man. The Steelers probably should win this game. Browns are kind of falling off. They can't throw the ball. Baker Mayfield's been banged up all year. Give me the Steelers. I'm going to take the under in this one. I think this one's going to be a really ugly game. Going to be definitely relying on the running game here. And shout out Razio one time. Definitely rest in peace to Dan Reeves, man. Betty White. We've been losing people, bro.
Sam Jones, man. Sam Jones
passed?
Yeah, the Celtic Hall of Fame great, 10-time NBA champion, one of the top 50 NBA players of all time, and our substitute teacher.
At Sligo Middle School.
Literally have vivid memories of conversations I had with that guy, and he had a way with words, and it's just, he was awesome. So rest in peace to Sam Jones too.
That's tough.
They come in threes, man. That one was fours, so kind of crazy.
Tough. It's
but
been a tough year, man, for everybody out here with this COVID situation, just health. It's been a really tough year, man. And we said that about like 2020, and now a lot of people have been referring to 2022 as 2022. The second edition, because that's exactly what's been happening, man.
We don't want that. So, yeah, we did, before we get out of here, because but listen, shout out to Authentic and The Beard, because that was a tough one.
Yeah, no buys, no Thursday game, no Saturday game. That was everything. That was all 32 football teams right there.
Yeah, all 32 football teams, and I'm like coming off I'm going to be honest with you guys. This has been an adventure for me today. So shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate y'all more than y'all know. We do want to touch up on this. This is everybody's new favorite segment when Authentic goes down the list here of the lineups.
We got 3 minutes.
Look,
we're going to get everyone out of here in 3 minutes.
Yeah, we listen, this lineup was fire. As you can see by all the fire emojis, James Robinson going out really hurt us. And Emmanuel Sanders kind of had a down game. Well, it didn't kind of.
Y'all don't know how hard this is. Like this whole mirror vibe. Like I'm like reaching right, my hand going left. It's crazy. COVID all over the room on him.
Yeah. So we cashed. We finished in, what does that say? 641st place, man. Out of like 20,000 people. This is a $9 buy-in, and I think we cashed out $25 or $35. I can't see. So it was a good squad. And so we're bringing you guys another lineup for DraftKings. This week's lineup brought to you by Awthentik and The Beard and Over the Years. At quarterback, starting quarterback is going to be Patrick Mahomes. We will be teaming him up with a little bit of Sony PlayStation Michelle, and we're bringing back Swifty. Bring out the Swifter. And then we're going with a sneaky wide receiver who Authentic loves, Michael Gallup. And then we're going to stack Mahomes with Tyreek Hill. And then we're bringing in everybody's favorite off the street wide receiver, Brashard Perryman, and our tight end on the Authentic and the Beard Fantasy Football Championship run, Mark Andrews. And then my sleeper tight end to close it out, because I didn't have any money to afford anybody else, Brevin Jordan. And the defense that nobody else is going to be playing in the entire world, the Arizona Cardinals.
Me no like. Hopefully it cashes. We shall see. We shall see.
Oh, man, ladies and gentlemen, this has been an absolute blast. I can't thank you guys enough for getting me out of the COVID cave and being able to spend Sunday morning doing the parlay with everybody here, because, like I said, I mean, you guys bring so much joy to my life, and I really, really do appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are staying safe out there, and hopefully you guys win some money. Fantasy Football Championship, whether it's DraftKings, FanDuel, or your NFL betting slips. I saw a bunch of people had some crazy parlays going out there. So we wish everybody the best of luck.
Best of luck, man.
Today,
the best of luck. Last night I was hyping myself up before I went to bed, man. I was like, gotta get that win, man. Let's go get it. Let's go get it, man. Let's go get that win, dog. I could definitely use a little, $600 bonus here. That wouldn't be too bad. And we didn't even put down the deposit yet. That's what's so fire about it. We already know we cashing some kind of money here. So, congratulations on that. Y'all know what it is, man. We ain't gonna hold y'all too long, man. I'm looking forward to these 1 o'clock games, man. I'm actually hyped up for this New York Giants game. I can't even lie. I think we could possibly get a W here against the Bears. And the 1 o'clock games, man. Washington's out there against the Eagles, man. This is a good slate of games.
And we actually have a good amount of 4 o'clock games. It's not
right. It's not 2 or 3 games at 4 o'clock. Yeah, because that becomes very, very, very annoying. The Beard, man, I appreciate you coming out the cave, man, and, pulling up to the stream. We definitely needed you. I don't think I could have done this by myself. As we were doing the intro, I was out to be like, yo, let me do the intro so that they think you're still on the COVID. And I don't know if you noticed, the COVID had you a little under the weather. You scheduled the streams for 11 p.m. instead of 11 a.m., or the department did. I switched it up for you in the middle of the night around 4 a.m. Shout out to my girl. She was the one who reminded me about it. She was like, yeah, the stream says 11 p.m. And if you look at the first couple of comments, people were like, see y'all tomorrow night, man. I was like, oh, this is all messed up here. Thank God we caught that. Definitely appreciate y'all pulling up today. Y'all know what it is. Let's get some biceps in the chat before we get out of here. Left side.
Strong side.
Yeah, man, keep raising those bars, man. If you're sick and you got the COVID, like a bunch of people here in D.C. got, the numbers are up real high right now. 15% of the people who have tested have COVID. You got 9,000 new cases in the Washington, D.C. area, man. I hope all y'all get well. I got a lot of friends that got COVID. My man Pat, Tom, Shantae, a bunch of people got COVID. Fats got COVID. Best of luck to all of y'all, man. Just getting over that COVID hump. I'm going to be just stuck in the basement here, trying my best to stay healthy as much as I can, staying away from the beard, even though that's my co-host, the best one in the country. Y'all know what it is, man. Keep raising that bar, man. Enjoy these games. Y'all be good, man. Keep living those dreams. We will see y'all on tomorrow for the Giant Overreaction. And Tuesday, we will see y'all for the first recap in a week. Shout out to the Beard being back, man. Y'all be good. We will see y'all, man. Peace.
Don't care.